Hello, everybody. Welcome to my Game Week 11 team selection video. I'm recording this on the Saturday of the morning of Game Week 11. It's a slightly later deadline, so we have some time for you guys to consume some content. And I am nervous, but I'm excited. My God, it's going to be quite a polarizing week. There is no template on Twitter, and there's so many people that can players that can hurt you, and there's so many people that can give you immense boost in ranks. And fingers crossed, I'm going to need to get lucky this week, and it feels like one of those weeks that's just exciting. I said if I get a small red arrow this week, I will just take it. I'm worried. Anyway, Pras and Zoff both did the team selection videos yesterday, so if you haven't seen them yet, check it out. We did the pod on Tuesday. Enough time to check it out, and hit the like and subscribe button. I mean, we've been pretty hardworking this season in terms of dropping at least 4 videos of free content every week. And if you've liked and appreciated our effort, feel free to hit like and subscribe. We will be at it during the international break too. We'll be at it during the November, December festive fixture crunch as well. So yeah, hit like and subscribe. Let's get into my team selection video. Right, last week, what happened last week? Ra got a 3-pointer. Yes. That's a big win compared to what he's been getting off late. That felt like a win. Funny story happened last week. I got Boonard. Now, for those that don't know, FPL Boona is somebody that posts fake news on Twitter. I had a long Diwali night on Friday night, and then I woke up early on Saturday, then took a nap, and then I woke up just 10 minutes before deadline. I was scrolling through deadline, and rumors were already there that Walker has traveled for the game to Bournemouth, and then 1 minute to deadline, I saw FPL Tony, but with FPL with 2 L's, say Rico Lewis Ben. So I immediately posted, changed the team, etc. Then by the time I came back to Twitter and I saw the extra L, then I went to change it back and start Rico Lewis instead of Mikolenko. Didn't happen. It worked out in my favor, but I immediately went into Boona's DMs, who's a friend. I told him, mate, I love you, but this is this is going to be potentially dangerous for my own FPL team, so I'm going to block you. And that's what's that. What you see here is Gameweek 10 points, not Gameweek 9 points. I think you guys understand that. Small typo. So yeah, Mikolenko was so close to getting a 7-pointer, then he conceded in the last 5 minutes. Salah came in with the captaincy, 18 points. Who knows? I have players who tend to do well against Brighton. So Liverpool got absolutely hammered in the first half, but Liverpool hammered Brighton in the second half. So Brighton do give you big chances. This is the theory I have. Hint, what I'm going to talk about this video. Palmer 3-pointer. That was 2 points and a bonus point. Boomer 3-pointer. Rogers coming in with a very much needed 9-pointer. Slightly fluky, but I'll take it. And the strike force, man. The strikers. Positive juju and vibes to you guys. 2-pointers across the board. But we need those strikers to perform this week because of the differentials. And in a world in which we are competing against the Spurs and the Wolves and the Uniteds of the world, we need our strikers to do well. Right, that was last week. Now coming to this week, I had on Saturday, I obviously saw the Solanke brace. I don't own him. I saw the BJ goal. Don't own him. I was like, geez, these guys play Ipswich at home next week. They just don't play Ipswich at home. They play Ipswich at home, who have 2 or 3 first teamers injured. Calvin Phillips is suspended. I'm worried. I'm worried about this game here. So I was like, I've got double Arsenal defense. I've got Palmer, got Rogers. They aren't exactly the best plays this week. So if I free hit and get in 3 first players, think Brennan Johnson or Son, think Solanke and Porro. I can get in 3 United players, think Mazraoui or Onana, think Bruno Fernandes and Rasmus Højlund. I can get in 2 or 3 Wolves players. It's easy to get Cunha and Ait Nouri, for example. And I add Mo Salah and maybe Trent to that equation, and that's your free hit team made with a punt or 2 sprinkle. It's quite easy to make a great free hit team. And then I asked Pras a question before the pod on Tuesday, like, what are we waiting the free hit team for? And like, we have the free hit, we have the triple captaincy, but I have the triple captaincy left, bench boost, and the mystery chip, and we probably have 2 or 3 double game weeks at max. There is merit to it, but I was like, no, I'll just keep the powder dry. Because I could get lucky. What I need to happen this week is to get lucky. I need either Palmer to score or Arsenal to keep the clean sheet. I need Haaland to come through, man. Like a lot of people have diverged from Haaland, and my entire premise is I like the matchup for Haaland against Brighton because Brighton afford you big chances. They like to play aggressive football, and I'm hoping that, and I think they are not as good defensively as Bournemouth are, and I hope that Brighton concede 2 or 3 goals on the transition at least, and I'm hoping Haaland is at the end of it. So my perception of this entire Brighton City game is I think it can be anything from a 2 or 3 nil City loss to 2-2, 3-2 to 3-1, 4-1 City win. I feel like the spectrum of results possible in this game is quite wide. So yeah, that's my perception on the City game. I need that to come through. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to stay calm, keep the powder dry. I thought of lots of moves if you think about it. Like I thought of selling Salah at one point. I thought of selling Palmer at one point. I thought of selling Haaland at one point. Palmer also, we saw that picture yesterday with him having a game ready brace boot where he's like doing some ice pack and I think he's recovering. And Mariska mentioned that he hopes to train, Palmer hopes to train today, and if so, he plays. Irrespective, I decided not to just sell Palmer because I'm like, it's a problem I'm creating because I will want Palmer back next week. And he's been my boy, man. He's been my success story on the Game Week 6 wildcard and bought him at an early team value. So I just made peace with it. And if I get screwed by United, Spurs, and other players and Wolves players this week, so be it, man. We take this week on the chin and we focus on next week. So then calming down, the main decision came to this data out here. I think I was done with DCL. He's not been pictured in training videos. Irrespective, I'm just done with DCL. Now the thinking with DCL is I got about 0.3 or 0.4 million in the bank. Do I want to stay in this price bracket with 2 cheap strikers? I don't know. I didn't mind going up to Rasmus or Isak, who people will start looking at in the near future, and he's going to be useful in the December fixture crunch. If I needed to do that, I could have done something like Palmer down to Bruno and Calvert-Lewin DCL to Isak or Haaland. But it just didn't feel right. I felt like selling Palmer, who I'll definitely want back in 1 or 2 weeks. Felt like 1 step forward this week, then 2 steps back, man. So I went against it, and I thought I'll just move for the position in the. I'll move DCL. I contemplated holding DCL as well, but I just got mesmerized by this player that I was looking into, and that's what we're going to talk about. Now, eventually, when I was looking at the cheap striker bracket, it came down to 2 players for me. I already have Jimenez. Brentford's fixtures turn rough pretty soon, and Thiago is fit as well. So I don't know what Visa's minutes are going to look like in the future. So I didn't go for Brentford. So I was contemplating 2 players. One is Strand Larson, who everybody's looking at, and one is Evan Nielsen, also known as henceforth Levan Nielsen. So the main thing is Bournemouth are a better attack than Wolves. We know about that for sure. The data here tells us that. Look at this attacking data in the last 6 game mix. Bournemouth are about top, mid top, like between 5th and 10th for shots in the box, between 5th and 10th for big chances as well. So they're a middling to upper middling attack, whereas Wolves are bottom for shots in the box, big chances. Similar is the case for XG they've generated in the last 6 game weeks, but Bournemouth are mid-table for XG. So yes, we have established they're a good attack, and this is last 6 game weeks data. Both Wolves and Bournemouth have had tough fixtures. Like you might think that Wolves have had tough fixtures in this game. No, Bournemouth have had tough fixtures too. They have played Arsenal at home, City at home, they played Liverpool, and they played Aston Villa. So 4 out of the last 6 weeks, Bournemouth have had. I do think that they're a good team in aggressive transition friendly games. I don't know how good their attack is when they're playing against rest defenses that are decent against deeper blocks. Now, that's when I started looking at the fixtures a lot more closely. Now, that led to me getting attracted towards Evan Nielsen because look at the fixtures. Brentford. Expect Brentford at home play a lot more differently than they play away. So expect them to not play like how they played against... hold on, my WhatsApp is constantly pinging. I need to just shut that. All right. Sorry about that. So Brentford like to play aggressive football at home. So I'm expecting this to be like a open 2-2, 3-2 sort of game. Brighton, transition century. My players have done well against Brighton. So I like that. Wolves Wolves again like to play attacking football at home. So they should open up space for attackers at least. Spurs always give you chances. Ipswich always give you chances. West Ham. We don't know if Lopetegui is going to be the manager, so we don't know what happens there. So I feel like the kind of football that Bournemouth play, these fixtures suit them, and they suit Evan Nielsen and Semenyo. Now I know Semenyo is a better option, but I don't have place for Semenyo in my squad. So what do? I got it off DCL, and I looked into Evan Nielsen, and like yes, people who are worried about minutes. I need to stop saying Evan Nielsen and start saying Levan Nielsen. Unal played against Aston Villa and was rubbish, and Evan Nielsen changed the game in the last 30 minutes. And in the 15-minute cameo that Unal had against City, he was rubbish. And everything that I've read about Levan Nielsen and Bournemouth fan opinion and what Andoni Iraola has to say is that he's settled. There's a lot better connection between him and his teammates. And Unal just hasn't been good enough. People think the gap between Levan Nielsen and Unal is wide, and he's first choice striker. So at max, maybe I miss one game, and I felt like going for the ceiling pick. And the way Levan Nielsen plays, he's not Solanke-ish. He's tip of the spear. His asset is not his heading ability. His asset is his space. He makes great runs. He's very alert inside the box, and he's fast. So I think these transition games suit him, which is why I went for him over Strand Larsen, who's also a good pick. But my issue with Strand Larsen is I think Southampton at home is a good game. That's it. Southampton have been slightly better, but Southampton at home is a good game. The three fixtures after that, I'm not sure about. Fulham are the Joe Pesci of the league. I don't think they'll concede many chances to Wolves. Everton at home away is a tough fixture. I don't think they'll concede that many chances to Wolves. And Bournemouth again, I think is good for both sides of attackers. So after that, they've got West Ham, Ipswich, Leicester. So it gives you a stronger string of good fixtures and things to not worry about. But I felt like Levan Nielsen had more ceiling, and that's why I went for it. That's my reasoning. Also, while we looked at the XG data, gulp. Look at Spurs, man. The last 6 game weeks, top of the league for big chances, top of the league for shots in the box, top of the league for XG. Like I told Pras, he should consider captaining Solanke instead of Salah, but he's going Salah, I think. That's it, man. I'm worried about top of the league for XG Spurs, who have scored 15 goals in 5 games at home, going against an Ipswich team that has most of their players, a lot of their first back 6 injured, who are responsible for defensive stability, and have conceded the highest number of big chances and XG this season. So I'm worried about the Spurs game. I am so worried about that slot on Sunday where Spurs, United, and Wood play together. I don't know any of the players. My rank's going to plummet. So we need things to get better before that happens. Right, worried, man, worried. But that's the exciting bit about FPL. Now, this is why I went for Levan Nielsen. Look at that. You know, when I tweeted about Levan Nielsen and I said that I'm considering him, looking at him, somebody in my replies mentioned that he looks like Pras, and there was a whole evolution where this is the picture. The bottom of the picture is where the original picture of Levan Nielsen, and there was Photoshop after Photoshop, and that evolution eventually led to this now. Can you see the difference? I can't. Now, if Pras is sexier than Levan Nielsen, but if Pras is like the guy on the top with his earrings, he's captaining Solanke ahead of Salah. I said Salah is a great pick anyway. This was just a bit of fun. So yeah, I got an Levan Nielsen, and that's the move I made this week. Now, what am I looking at in terms of future planning and big hitter scanning? I think Haaland's good for this week. I think I'm going to captain him this week. I am captaining him this week because I think it's transition central. I think Brighton afford big chances. I hope that having Savinho back is good for him. I hope that KDB plays 20-25 minutes to give him that one extra goal in the last 20-25 minutes. And I hope City play better. City, in the first 50 minutes against Sporting, were good. They created a good amount of chances. They were good. They crumbled in the last 40 minutes once the goal happened. But they were good in the first 50, 55, 60 minutes. So I'm hoping that they put on a good performance. If they put on a good performance, they play decently, I think there are 2 or 3 goals for them to score. Against captaincy for Salah's a good captaincy option, man. Every Villa fan that I've spoken to has mentioned that this is the worst Villa have been under Emery. They don't look that good. That said, I just feel like there isn't as much ceiling as there is with the Haaland captaincy and the Solanke /Son captaincy, because We spoke about XG, etc. for Spurs who play Ipswich at home. I think there's just much higher ceiling there. But I understand people going for the floor option, and Salah's just been in great form, 6 double digits out of 10. So it's completely fine. I'm just giving you my opinion where I would go for the ceiling pick this week. That's all. So what do we think about scanning? I feel like I will hold Haaland for Spurs at home, and then there is a decision to make. I will hold Salah for Southampton away, and then there is a decision to make. The reason why I didn't sell Palmer is because after this week, he's got Leicester away, Villa home, Southampton away. So you got Leicester and Southampton away. You want Palmer in these flat track bully games. He's a beast. Spurs away, Brentford. Oh my God, he's just a great hold. So I want him back, so I don't want to create a Palmer size problem in my team, so I'm just going to hold him. After 13, I might sell Salah or Haaland because Haaland plays Liverpool away and Salah obviously plays City at home. After that, Haaland has Forest at home. Forest are tough. Then Palace, United, Aston Villa. There is a period in which you could consider selling him. There's also a period in which you could consider selling Salah because they got Newcastle and Everton away. Not easy fixtures. Then they got Joe Pesci. After that in 17. So I will sell in 13 either Haaland or Salah. At the moment, I'm leaning towards selling Salah because I think Haaland's the better FPL asset. I don't want to sit on the fence with my opinion. I just think Haaland's the better FPL asset. And I do think, that people that have sold Haaland have gotten lucky. And I think that luck will reverse, and fingers crossed. And I think City are getting in a better place with those players returning, etc. as well. And I think City are the kings of the December fixture crunch. Yes, there's no Rodri, but generally they've done so well in this November-December period. More often than not in the last 4 or 5 years, they tend to win the league in this period. They go above their peers in this period. I will want Saka in Gameweek 13, where he plays West Ham United, Fulham, Everton, etc. Right? So I want to get either Saka, I want to get Kai, because I have Raya and Gabriel in my team. I will use that money to sell one of Haaland or Salah at that moment. If I do Salah to Saka, it gives me 3 million. With that 3 million, I can even upgrade a Rodgers to a Bruno or any other United mid. I can spend that money however I want to. I can upgrade one of my cheap strikers to an expensive striker or a mid-price striker. So we'll figure what to do with that money. TBD, as Pruss likes to say. But I've got my eye on filling up that Arsenal attack. I really like what Arsenal are going to look like after the international break because it's just not Odegaard that's back. Ben White's back. Calafiori is going to be back. Now, I was reading this amazing article that Neil did, which spoke about Arsenal. And this is nice because I want to just give you all the relevant thinking that exists in my head and contextualize the information that's in my head and just put it out there. And if you guys like what I'm doing, just hit the like and subscribe button. I really, really would appreciate it. So yeah, what happened with Arsenal is when you're thinking about the right-hand side, it's just not Saka, right? Saka played with Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey ain't offering no runs on the outside, which opens up space for Saka. White does that. And then that triangle eventually changes from Merino, Partey and Saka to Odegaard, White and Saka. What an upgrade on that right hand side. On the left-hand side as well, Martinelli isn't that good with Timber. Timber's great defensively, but I don't know about his output offensively. Calafiori, we've seen in the few games, we've seen unlocks Martinelli. So we'll have Calafiori and Martinelli on that side. We'll have the triangle of Odegaard, White and Saka on this side. And I think that team is going to purr and the team is going to score goals. Like a part of me felt a little jealous that I have double Arsenal defense and then I can get only one attacker because I wouldn't mind Kai, Saka and an Arsenal defender. One Arsenal defender for that period. Game week 14 onwards. And the fixtures are great. We're definitely eyeing in one more Arsenal spot and we're eyeing in United. The thing with United is a lot of people in the market for United defender right now. If you're buying today, I think delete is the answer. But in 2 weeks, once we see Ipswich and Everton, we will see who Amorim's wingback of choice is, and that's going to be the upside pick in the defense. Also, we'll see who's playing on the other side as the attacker. I expect Bruno Fernandes to play in the front three. Who's going to be playing on the other side? Bruno Fernandes, if you're having a straight move to Fernandes this week and want to punt there, go for it. My blessing, I think I'm not feeling right not jumping on this run, but this run of Leicester at home, Ipswich away, Everton at home is great. And then you've got tough fixtures, Arsenal, Forest and City. So I think if you see out, if you don't buy United attacker now, you can probably buy United attacker after the City away game for the period there. And we've got half an eye on Isak as well, man. The fixtures after this week are West Ham home, Palace away, Liverpool, Brentford, Leicester, Ipswich. It's a good run of attacking fixtures. That's what we're scanning. Now I have a benching decision as well. Taking you guys through my team. As you guys can see, Haaland pretty much my captain. Look at that beautiful Levan Nielsen. Come on, man. I need him to come through because I'm worried. I feel like this week can be a big red arrow or a small green arrow. I don't think I'll get a big green arrow unless Haaland goes crazy. The benching decision that I have is between Raya and Fabianski, and between I have to bench one of Mikolenko, Rogers, or Lewis. Now let's talk about the projected clean sheet goals, projected clean sheet odds, and goal odds, etc. as well. Let me check if the sound is working. Yes, it's working fine. So, Raya versus Fabianski, firstly. Fabianski has 28% clean sheet potential. Raya has 24% clean sheet potential. That said, I don't know. I feel like Raya's just a better keeper. So, there's a greater chance of him pulling out a clean sheet with 4, 5, 6 saves, if I am not wrong. So, at the moment, I'm starting Raya or Fabianski. But I'm wondering if I should split the risk and chance the West Ham team. But West Ham has just been rubbish. I thought Everton haven't been purring in attack, but Enda is fit. I think better will be good. I think Everton have been good in attack. So at the moment, I think I'll go for Arsenal. So you just take that hedge also. Palmer versus Saka and Raya, take that hedge. And the benching decision between Rico Lewis, Mikolenko, and Rogers. I think I'll play Rogers. I think he'll be good. I need to play one of Rico Lewis and Mikolenko. Again, West Ham are at home. I don't know, the clean sheet odds don't look great. Whereas City's clean sheet odds are greater, but City will concede to Brighton. That's it. I have a good feeling about Rico Lewis. The only thing is, he's very likely to be benched this week. There's a chance he is. But I also feel like, I think by the time the deadline comes around, the team leaks will come and we will get news. But at the moment, I'm likely to start Rico because that's what my feeling is. You know what happens when I'm doing these team selection videos as well, right? I'm vocalizing my thoughts, and then you realize when you're vocalizing your thoughts what your true feelings are. So as things stand, this is what I'm going to go with. If I hear that Rico Lewis is benched, Mikolenko will come in. Then probably look to save next week unless injuries crop up or mood changes. And then downgrade either Salah or Haaland, get Saka in place, and spend the money elsewhere. That's what the plan is for the short term. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, all the data, everything that you see on our podcast is from the Fantasy Football Scout members area. So, and I think before December is the best time to become a member. So click on the link in the description below. And also, if you don't have much to do during the international break, set up a draft, man. We've been playing the draft with a few people in the Discord. We've been playing the draft with other content creators, and it's just so much fun. So it helps you something to do during the international break. Sleeper is a great platform. So if you see this QR code, scan it and set up a draft with your friends and family. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit like and subscribe, and we will see you Tuesday. I think, yes. And we are doing a lot more content during the international break as well. Wish me luck. Come on, Erling Haaland.